equity-based mutual funds, much more aggressive. So knowing these things, you can pick your option based on what you think makes the most sense. If you have a newborn right now, you might think that you'd want to go, for example, with the high equity options. Why? Well, equities are on sale right now, and you might be in a good position to catch the next wave. On the other hand, if you're looking at a student who's 14, 15 years old, you might very well want to hunker down and stay with the principal plus interest option. Or again, you might want to use one of the managed allocation options on the conservative side, which is again going to have a very high percentage of its funds invested in basically fixed income mutual funds. The thing about the managed allocation funds to keep in mind is that you'll have a little slice of equity-based funds in there, just to catch a good market.
Now, on your percent, you publish a quarterly letter with your report.
Thank you. Yes.
And that comes out, and they are based on the child, and then kind of review sort of what you've been able to, what's in that report.
Well, we do provide that report talks about gains the gains that might have been made, the individual accounts, of course the net asset value and number of the number of shares that you hold in the trust.
And they're very similar to like a mutual fund.
Very much similar.
And then it also, I thought it was very nice, and the standpoint is that when you do automatic deductions, it shows what the number of stocks and what the number of shares that have been purchased.
That's correct. So you will get a thorough accounting from us every quarter. Not to mention, of course, the fourth quarter where you have where we provide the information you want for your state income tax deduction.
Right. And so let's talk about that.
All right.
Since we segued right into that. Taxes.
Taxes. On the Michigan income tax form, people are allowed to take 2 state tax deductions for saving for college.
Okay.
There's one line that has a MET logo next to it, and right above it is a line that has an MESP logo.
Okay.
So contributions made into both programs are tax deductible. The only difference between the deductions is that on the MET line, you can write in the entire amount of the purchase, including the processing fees for the year. And if it means you're under monthly purchase, you're going to get an annual statement at the end of the year telling you what that amount is. And on the MESP line, you're going to max out either at $10,000 if you're saving and you're a joint tax filer, or $5,000 if you're a single filer.
Now, is there any salary limits on those?
No salary limits on
Okay.
either deduction.
Okay.
No.
And so then how does that work? So if I contributed, let's say, $2,500 to each program, how does that work?
Then you'll take 2 deductions, $2,500 each. That will then get carried over to your MI 1040 form.
Okay.
It will be a subtraction from income, and then you will go to calculate your tax that you owe the state.
Wow.
So it's a direct deduction and
Wow.
not a credit.
Wow.
Yes.
And so that reduces your total,
Yes.
and so that's a huge savings
Absolutely.
in regards
It
on
Absolutely.
that number. But it's a maximum of 10,000, and so
Yes.
for our people that are doing very well financially, they don't have to worry about it, and that's the same program if you're making $10,000.
That's right, and will really help you.
Right. Now, can kids contribute to their own accounts?
They can. We have what we call accounts that are set up for students that are using their own money through Uniform Transfers to Minors Act or Uniform Gifts to Minors Act. If you're setting up a MET contract under that, then you must basically make sure that it's truly that child's money. That's the only time we allow the child to be named the purchaser as well as the beneficiary, and we must have the trustee of the account sign it. We need an adult to sign it, but they must also name that child to be the refund designee because it is their money. And it's a similar setup in MESP.
But with MESP, of course, you are not required to set up a trust. And to an extent that helps the parent or the account owner, provides another measure of control, so that the 18-year-old is not tempted to spend the money on a candy red Corvette or anything like that.
But transportation is not covered. Can you buy it?
That's right.
I understand.
That's right. But trust me, I'm grateful that you actually read the materials. So
No problem.
I'd like to see more of that. If the assets are contributed under a trust, let's say you have a bank account that's held in trust and you want to use it to create an MESP account, then you would set up that account under the gift to minors.
Okay.
Of course, with the knowledge ahead of time that when the child reaches legal age in Michigan, that money comes under the child's control.
Very good. Okay, so going to the next sort of phase in the MESP, if you've got a situation where you're living off campus, your grocery bills, can you submit grocery bills for reimbursement in those?
As a matter of fact, yes.
Okay.
You don't have to submit them anymore.
You don't have to submit the bills,
Right,
which
just
is
save your
actually that was a big improvement from the time when the program first launched.
That's right.
Your signature on the withdrawal form is sufficient, but you can deduct your off-campus room and board.
Okay.
You are limited only by the amount that the school allows for room and board if you are receiving federal financial aid.
Okay.
That's just the dollar amount that
Very
they
good.
use.
There's been so many different things. We've just got a few minutes left. Real quickly on financial aid.
Good point.
Okay, so if parents are good stewards, do they get penalized in the financial aid form?
They do not.
No.
Okay.
No. Only 5.6% of the total value of their savings in both programs are going to be used to determine the student's eligibility for need-based aid.
Wonderful.
So 5.6% is so small, I don't see
And
that it's
that's-
going to hurt.
And that amount's also based on a sliding scale, based upon the household income.
Okay.
And
So-
the number of students in the family that are in
Right.
college and that
Wonderful.
type of thing.
Okay, so that's good.
Yeah.
Next component then is we talked a little bit about Marc's report. Do you get a quarterly report on
Yes.
the? Okay, and how does that
If you're
work?
in a monthly purchase, because if you purchase lump sum, you have a confirmation from us, there's no reason for us to
Right.
give you a quarterly report.
So you get
But we
every-
give you an annual
Okay,
report.
You
all
get
As a
right.
it.
purchaser, you do get an annual report that gives you the financial statements. If you're saving on a monthly basis, we do give you a quarterly report as well as an annual statement for income tax purposes. And we might also add that for both programs, they're growing tax deferred or tax exempt from the
Very good.
federal tax perspective.
And then is it counted as income when they're withdrawn?
If they withdraw it and don't use it for its
Okay,
intended
that's
purpose,
the only
that's the
time.
only time.
Okay. Very
Okay?
good.
As long as they
And
go.
so it does not count to the parents. So this is just a tax neutral. So you get
It
your
is,
deduction
Yes.
Right?
well,
And
on the
you let
front
it
end.
grow tax-free.
We let it go tax free, and it's
Yes.
not taxable with withdrawal.
Right.
That's
What a
right.
beautiful thing.
Yes, yes.
Okay, now how do we subscribe?
Okay, go online.
Very easily.
Setwithmet.com is the-
Setwithmet.com, and we'll put that
Setwithmet.
on the end of the program.
Okay.
Okay. And with us, it's misaves.com.
Okay. And are there 800 numbers?
800 numbers.
Absolutely.
Okay.
800 MET 4KID. That's MET, the number 4 KID. 8 to 5, Monday through Friday.
And for us, it's 877-861-MESP.
Great. And those numbers will be at the end of the program, and I would really strongly encourage, as families are planning their college budget, we know that education is going to be a key, and it's flexibility. We have programs that if you want to get into wrench turning and machine tooling that are available, or if your child aspires to be a doctor or a lawyer, that also will work too. Folks, thank you very much for
Thank
being here
you.
today. We really appreciate it. It's been a
Senator,
privilege.
thank you very much for your support over the years. We appreciate it.
We
Thank
do.
you
Thank you
very
so
much.
much.
And this concludes Northern Michigan Update. Thank you very much.